Venerable Ajaan Mahā Boowa's eulogy about the translator, Venerable Ācariya 1925 to 2004. Venerable Ācariya was an English monk who first came to stay at Bantad Forest Monastery in 1963, and he lived here ever since. Not only did he develop himself to the fullest, his life was also one that greatly benefited people from all over the world. Ever since he came to stay here, he has been a source of strength and inspiration to many Buddhists from many countries who have come to see him. His presence has touched the lives of so many people over the years. This is especially true of the Western monks who have come to Bantad Forest Monastery since his arrival. He has always shown a selfless devotion to the task of instructing these monks. They have always relied on Ācariya to teach them the correct way of practicing Buddhism. He has been an example and a mentor to most of the Westerners who have come to Thailand to ordain as monks and follow the Buddha's noble path. Ācariya passed away on August 18th at 8:30 a.m. Bantad Forest Monastery has benefited in so many ways from his presence. Ācariya was a trained engineer with a very broad knowledge about all things electrical and mechanical. Whenever I asked him a question about a piece of machinery, whether it was a car, train, airplane, or orbiting satellite, he always knew the answer. I asked him if he could construct these things himself, and he replied that although he understood in principle how they worked, their construction would require a factory and a large workforce. One person could never do it all. It was a very clever answer. His knowledge of engineering gave us the impression that he must be a nuclear physicist. Because he was never at a loss when giving clear and coherent explanations, we felt that he knew everything there was to know about these matters. Occasionally, someone's car broke down in the monastery. Ācariya repaired it right away so the owner could drive it home. He was an expert at repairing clocks and watches, tape recorders and radios. Those in the monastery who needed help in repairing these things always turned to Ācariya, and he never let them down. That's one reason why I say that Bantad Forest Monastery has benefited from his presence in so many ways. On a more profound level, Ācariya was a great communicator. He was responsible for instructing and training all of the foreigners who have come to Bantad Forest Monastery. In this respect, his death is a tremendous loss to our monastery. His engineering skills will not be missed nearly so much as his teaching skills. He was always the first person to receive foreign visitors, and they relied on his wisdom to guide them. His teachings on Buddhism were comprehensive and invariably correct. Ācariya died in a calm and peaceful manner, as befits a practicing monk. His mental condition was excellent and beyond reproach. He had truly developed a strong spiritual foundation in his heart. Of this I have no doubt. When he passed away, he went with quiet dignity, and I myself have taken full responsibility for his funeral arrangements. Ācariya told me that he had one regret. He said that it was a shame that Westerners who are so clever when it comes to worldly affairs are so stupid when it comes to spiritual ones. Even though the Buddha's teaching is superior to everything that the world has to offer, very few Westerners make an effort to learn about it. He felt that this was their own Dhamma, their own misfortune. When people use their intelligence solely for material purposes, they remain ignorant of matters of real substance. Spiritually, they are very stupid. This, he felt, was their own misfortune, and he was exactly right. It is impossible to equate worldly intelligence with the wisdom of Dhamma. The kilesas are one thing, and Dhamma is another. Ācariya told me that he wanted to see intelligent people turn away from the world and turn their attention to the practice of Buddhism. If those people would practice Buddhist meditation, they could greatly benefit the world we live in. His main regret was that so few showed an interest. He saw them as very intelligent in one way and very stupid in another. Ācariya possessed a very subtle and refined nature. He was beyond reproach. The whole time I knew him, I never had a reason to reprimand him. Never. He was always composed and circumspect, and displayed wisdom in everything he did. His death is a loss to faithful Buddhists everywhere.